Sorry I'm not here today to be able to go over this with you. You were supposed to make sure that you did quarter 2, week 2, and I know it's Friday, but we were just going to do Thursday because we started on our after fall break. We did Monday on Tuesday. So therefore, we are not doing the quiz this week. So we're just going to make sure that this is like a normal day with 2 points. Number 1, we have 34 equals 2m minus 8. To solve, we draw a line through the equal sign. I'm going to box up my 2m because I don't want to move that. I'm going to move my 8 over to the other number, and if this is like subtracting, we're going to add the opposite, which is adding a positive. So 34 plus 8 is 42 equals 2m. We're going to box that m up again, but now all I have to do is box up the m by itself. This is like saying 2 times m, so I'm going to divide by 2 on both sides. These cancel each other out, so 42 divided by 2 is 21, so 21 equals m. Again, I've been liking to rewrite them with m on the left, or your variable on the left equals 21. Number 2, expand the following. 2/9 times the quantity 9/4 x minus 9. And the 9 would be like it's over 1. To expand, it just means we're actually still just doing the distributive property. So I take 2/9 times 9/4. So 2/9, 2/9 times 9/4. I'm going to reduce my 9's to 1 and reduce the 2 to a 1 and the 4 to a 2 because I reduced by 2. Then 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 2 is 2. So I have 1/2 and bring that x there with it. Then I do 2/9, the distributive property of 2/9 times the negative 9/1, or 9 over 1. So 2/9 times the negative 9 over 1. Reduce by 9, so they become 1. 2 times 1 is 2. 1 times 1 is 1. But I have a negative, so that's a negative 2. So then I rewrite it with what I have left. So that is what the distributive property gets. So I have 1/2 x minus 2. And that is my final answer. Number 3 is beginning to get a lot harder. It says to simplify the expression is 6x minus 2/3 times the quantity 6x minus 15y plus a negative 10. This is a long expression. Start by looking to find your distributive property. I have 2/3 times 6x. So I'm going to write negative 2/3 times, I'm leaving the 6x alone over here, by the way. So negative 2/3 times 6x, which is over 1, becomes negative 12x over 3, which 12 divided by 3 is 4x. Okay, and that is going to be a negative 4x. Then I use the distributive property to do a negative 2/3 times a negative 15. So a negative 2/3 times negative 15y over 1. I can reduce. 3 becomes a 1. This 5 becomes this 15 becomes a 5. So negative 2 times negative 5 is a positive 10y. So now let's go back and see what we have. We have left the 6y, or the 6x. Then this here became the negative 4x. Then we had the 2/3 times 15 is the 10y, so that's the positive 10y. And then it's plus the negative 10. Now I just look and see what I have in common. I have two x's together, so 6x minus 4x is 2x. I have nothing to combine with my 10y, so it's just plus 10y. I have nothing to combine with my negative plus negative 10, so it's just a plus negative 10. And that is your final answer because we had to use the distributive property. Number 4, 6m plus 5 equals negative 1 minus 8m. What I like to do with this problem first is if I have, that negative needs to go outside that parentheses, because that makes a difference. And that's what I was getting ready to tell you to do. I'm going to leave the 6m plus 5 alone. Draw my line. This negative, I'm going to distribute that amongst what's in the parentheses. So a negative times positive would be a negative 1. A negative times a negative would be a positive 8m. So now I can actually start moving some things. I want all the m's on one side, all the numbers on the other. I'm going to make sure my m's are on the left. So I'm going to subtract 8m, subtract 8m. These cancel each other out. So a negative 8 and a positive 6 makes for a negative 2m. Then I have the plus 5 equals, those cancel each other out. In the same line, let's make this another move. Let's move the 5. So minus 5, minus 5. These cancel each other out. So then a negative 1 and a negative 5 makes a negative 6. Then I'm going to keep m by itself, divide by negative 2, divide by negative 2, and m equals 3. So negative 6 divided by negative 2 is a positive 3. Number 5, which is cheaper for a $65 item that costs $7.25 to ship? A 10% off the cost of the item or free shipping? Okay, if it's going to cost $65, I'm going to take 10% off coupon, so it's 10% off. So I'm going to take this times on, how do I change the 10% to a decimal? You move it 1, 2, so I've got 0.1. So I take $65 times 0.1, it'd be $6.50 off. So I take $65 minus $6.50. Making sure I'm lining up the decimals. Can't take 4 minus 6, so we have to borrow. So for 10% off, it'd be $58.50. But then I have to add the $7.25 to ship. So $58.50 plus $7.25. So with the coupon, it would cost $65.75 to ship. But if I just have free shipping, it would only cost $65, and I don't even have to take off a 10% because I'm not adding $7.25. So free shipping is the way to go because it would only cost me $65. Number 6, 7 minus 8x is greater than a negative 41. Draw your line. Box up my x. I don't want to move it. How do I move a positive 7? Make it a negative 7, or do the opposite. Add the opposite. Additive inverse, because then they cancel each other out. So then I'm left with a negative 8x greater than, and then 41 plus 47 is a negative 48. Box up your x. keep them, this is like multiplying, so I want to do the opposite, I'm going to divide by -8, divide by -8, x, and 48 divided by 8 is 6, negative divided by negative is a positive. Now, here's where it changes. If I'm dividing by a negative, I have to switch this sign. So now it's going to become x is less than 6. 7 says to write an equality that represents the graph below. We have a filled in circle. So x is, and I'm pointing to the left. Left means less than. So x is less than or equal to, because it's filled in, -2. Solve and graph the inequality on the number line. So I have to solve it first. -2w greater than or equal to a -10. Draw my line. I want to get w by itself, divide by -2, divide by -2. W and 10 divided by 2 is 5, and it's going to be positive. Switch the signs. You have to switch the signs. So it's now going to be w is less than or equal to 5. To draw my line, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, -1, -2. W is less than or equal to, so I fill in the circle, and arrow to the left. Make sure you take a picture with the corrections and submit it to today's assignment, or the bell work.